Welcome to Encounter, where we celebrate putting faith into action and community leaders who live out compassion, grace, and love. We're a program of the Broome County Council of Churches that addresses food insecurity through CHOW and the Greater Good Grocery, provides hospital and jail ministry, builds wheelchair ramps, and assists neighbors with transportation and shopping services through Faith in Action volunteers. We invite you to the conversation. Encounter your neighbors as we learn to walk together in love and kindness. Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Encounter. I'm your host, Jeff Kellam, serving as the Parish Associate at the Union Presbyterian Church in Endicott. And for those of you with screens, these are penguins on my tie. How they got there, I do not know. You know, as you watch the introduction to this program each week, you see that we're co-sponsored by the Broome County Council of Churches and WBNG. And we recognize, though, that the TV and radio signals go beyond Broome County and beyond the service of the Broome County Council of Churches. And today we're going to talk about similar programs in Tioga County through the Tioga County Rural Ministry. And its executive director is here with us, Sister Mary O'Brien. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I think you've been here in the studio before, and I think we did a show at the offices.
Yes.
At one time during COVID when we were doing studio shows. And now you have a new place.
We have a beautiful new building.
And tell me a little bit about that and how it's worked out. I just had a tour of it, and I wish I'd taken some pictures.
Yeah, so we moved in on October 15th, so we're coming up on a year's anniversary already. So the building, the occupants are Cooperative Extension, Racker, who works with people with disabilities in 3 different counties, Tioga United Way, and Tioga Rural Ministry.
Right.
So we are so pleased. We have a wonderful, bright, cheerful food pantry that we love, and those who come to us, our pantry goers, they're thrilled to have this such a pleasant space.
It's very welcoming, and as you said, it's bright and cheerful inside. It doesn't look institutional at all.
And we have a beautiful new kitchen, but the crown jewel for us is that we have a large 12-foot freezer.
Yeah.
Walk-in freezer. And before we used to, could you keep these turkeys in your freezer a little bit longer?
At home.
Do you have room in yours? You know, sometimes I'd wake up and where are we going to put those turkeys when they come? Or those chicken breasts.
Right.
So we're thrilled to have the space that we have.
It's right there in downtown Owego.
It is right in the heart of the village. We have space there. We will be a space for, in case there's any kind of catastrophe, the Church of the Nazarene will be the first priority space, and we will be the secondary. Our space was built, it was the only space in the heart of the village that was above the 500-year floodplain.
Oh.
In 2011, when we had the huge flood, the house I'm living in had 10 feet of water in it.
Yeah.
So our building was not touched at that time. So while our old building was demolished, our new one was built just above the railroad tracks,
right.
And so it should be in good stead.
That's great, and although it's in Owego, anyone in Tioga County can take advantage of the programs.
Absolutely.
And the programs parallel so much the work of the Council of Churches in Broome County. I'm thinking of food distribution, I'm thinking of ramps and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Could you just maybe summarize some of the programs that you've been doing for so long?
Yeah, so we started in 1978, and initially the Diocese of Rochester sent some sisters here to Tioga County to say, what is the greatest unmet need? So they scoured and toured the county, talked with agencies, church leaders, residents, and found that food insecurity was the greatest issue.
Yeah.
It remains the greatest issue, unfortunately, to this day. So our two signature programs are food pantry, open to anyone in the county as often as they need, and secondarily, financial assistance, which is a huge program for us.
Right.
That keeps growing and growing. Apart from those programs, we have, we just finished a back to school program, and that program we send, the parents sign up their teenagers, any teens who are going to school or college, 13 to 18, can get new clothing for Christmas, for back to school. And that includes shoes and or clothing.
Yeah.
And they get $200 each. A volunteer driver takes a parent and child to the store of their choice. They get the $200. They make their choices. They've got a parent there for guidance, and a volunteer who can say, "Hey, that looks great on you,"
Yeah,
you know, or "That's a perfect color," for, you know, whatever. But
and it's so wonderful that the kids get to choose their own things rather than taking something off the shelf that has been donated.
It's all about treating people with dignity, and youth at that age, it's such a tender age, and they are so susceptible to what their their people and their classmates think of them.
Yeah.
And their dress is critical. And so many of them, when we ask everyone to write a thank you letter, because how are we funding this? This comes from grants, and it comes from individual donations from the community.
Right.
So we want to be able to use quotes from the kids that let donors know how important this is to them. And so many of them will mention, you know, now I don't have to worry about what people are going, about being mocked when I go to school.
Yeah.
I can't wait to show wear my new clothing. And, you know, it's all their choice, their style. We had one 13-year-old, a young child with who's autistic, and he went shopping with his grandmother rather than his mother, and he said, "She's got a little better style than my mother." You know, it's just great. You know,
that's great. Yeah. Well, I know, excuse me, but I know how important that is, because someone we know quite personally almost shed tears that he wanted a particular kind of jeans because his classmates had them. So he didn't want the store brand. He had to have the particular one that other people had. He was embarrassed to ask his mom to spend the extra money for that. But it is it's important, and as you say, it's dignity, and it's giving the kids a choice. Wonderful program then.
I did work like this in the Albany area before, many years ago, and I remember this young man, Teddy. His mom was a single parent, and she said, "I'm really having trouble with Teddy getting him to go to school. He keeps skipping school." And so I was talking with Teddy, and I said, "Teddy, what's up?" You know, and he said, "Everybody mocks me because I wear the same clothes every day, and it looks ratty." And, you know, so he was the impetus for me to move this program into the age group that we have, that no child should have to go to school, be confronted with mocking. Kids don't know how much it means to their counterparts. But it means a lot. They carry those wounds they can carry them for years.
For a lifetime, yeah. So that's the back to school program, and then when that one concludes, then you kind of move on to the next thing. And I mean, I hate to say already that we're moving into the holiday season, but
we just had a meeting yesterday about that.
Yeah, and, you know, so you also have some plans to make for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, and what goes on there. That's
a big one, because last year We signed everybody up in September. Normally, we sign people up the first 2 weeks of October. So last year I worried about would we get the people, because it's the same time people were going back to school.
Yeah.
And we got actually more than our usual norm. I think we had something like 230 families. So when they sign up this year, it will be October 1st through 10th. And anyone in the county can sign up with us. And if they live in Newark Valley or Spencer, if they want to sign up in their program, that's absolutely great. They can only sign up for one particular program.
Mm-hmm.
But with our program, any child in the county can receive, if their parents register them, can receive either sweatshirt or sleepwear. The parents indicate when they sign up what they're interested in. Then we take the size, and then we also ask them, would you like to be adopted if that's possible?
Yeah.
So if that's possible, we have adopters from around the community. We have typically adopt probably a little over 45 families. And they can adopt for Thanksgiving food only,
Mm-hmm.
or Christmas food only, or Christmas gifts only, or the whole shebang. And they can determine, they can let us know whether they'd like to bring it to Tioga County Rural Ministry, or whether they'd like to deliver it to the family itself.
So
and we ask the family for permission. We ask them if they do not want people to come to their door, then we respect that.
Right, but in adopting, so as a Tioga citizen, I would contribute. That would be my adoption of a family for the meals, or for toys, or for something that would help another
so
family.
we would give the registration sheet to the adopter, which tells them the size of the sleepwear or the sweatshirt. If people want to call the family and say, we'd also like to get, a toy or something like that, is it okay if we ask, do they like arts and crafts? Do they like trucks? Whatever.
Yeah, Legos.
If you, without presuming that, 13-year-old, she's a girl, she probably likes arts and crafts. Well, she might not.
Yeah.
So that's the key thing. So also when they sign up, they also sign up for our Toys for Tots program, which allows them to come to the VFW. We host it at the VFW. We're very grateful for them. And we display gifts from 0 to 3, 4 to 7, and 8 to 12. Parents who have children of those age groups can then come and pick out 2 gifts from a wide array of gifts.
Yeah.
And I remember one woman early on in my stay here, she said, "Sister, my girl likes boy things. Can you pick out boy things for her?" And I said, "No, I can't do that, but you can." "I can pick them out?" Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
And that goes to, again, choice and dignity.
Yeah.
It's all about, we want the child to like what they get.
Yep.
And not just a random gift.
Yep. So we've been talking about, our guest today, by the way, is once again is Sister Mary O'Brien, who is the Executive Director of the Tioga County Rural Ministry. We've been talking about immediate things coming up, but I want to move to the financial assistance, because I know that's a challenge these days, and probably more of a challenge than ever before. Can you talk a little bit about how the need has increased?
Oh, absolutely. So we do financial assistance, and it's our a signature program for us. We're grateful to our community. I can't speak enough for our community, because the funds that we give away are the funds that we receive from the community. And so with that, we do an analysis of all those people who come to us, how many requests we receive each month, whether they are full-time employed, part-time employed, whether they are senior citizens, or whether they are have some disabilities, or whether they are new to us and have never asked those questions. So we did, every year we do a calendar, a report on financial assistance for our board members, looking at the calendar year and or looking at the fiscal year. So while we look at those figures every month, what blew my mind was in December of 2024. In January, I was looking at those figures, looking at 2021, 22, 23, 24, and doing a comparison. So in 2024, prior to 2024, the most ever applicants that we had for financial assistance who were full-time employed were 76. In December, when I looked at those stats for the year, it was 195. We jumped from 76 to 195, and it has not stopped from there.
Now, you said these are full-time employed folks who are still in financial stress.
Absolutely. And anyone in our audience can understand that when they go to the grocery store and see the prices for food, the prices that we're paying for utility bills. When we do a financial intake for anyone, we look at we look at all of their income, and we look at all of their expenses. And we look at, are they up when Galen, who is the person who is our director of services for outreach services, when he does that interview with a client, he gets that information, and then we'll figure out they're 200 to the good, they're minus 100. So they're not going to make it if they're minus 100. If they're 200 to the good, if any extraordinary expense comes their way, a utility bill higher than what they expected, higher than what they budgeted, they need new tires for their car. They have a car repair. They have an extraordinary expense, or they have a disability. They get knee surgery, and now they're getting 1/3 income of what they were receiving. All of those things, just like that, snap, causes that $200 plus to become a huge minus. So what do people do? If they're renting, and most of our people are renters, they pay their rent first, and then, or they pay if they have a job, they need that vehicle, so they're going to pay for the car repair first, which then means they're not going to have enough for their rent. And so they come to us for those things. Utility bills, housing bills are the two key components. So what I want to speak about is the number. In the past, up to 2024, a busy month for us for financial assistance was 24 to 28 applicants coming. Now, our norm is 42, 44, 48, 49. Of those numbers, half are new to us, never having come to us before, and new to services with us. And half are full-time employed. It's remarkable. It's astounding, really.
And how difficult that must be to have been self-supporting and feeling that you had things made at the end of the month, and now you're falling short and you have to go ask for help. It's a very difficult thing.
It is very, very difficult. And I'll give you one example. A couple months ago, a woman was coming to our food pantry. And the volunteer said to her, have you been here before? And she said, no. So the volunteer got busy getting the paperwork that she needed. I happened to be walking through, and I said, pardon me, but my name is Sister Mary O'Brien. I'm the director here, and I want to welcome you to our facility. We're so happy that you've come, and I want you to know that you can come as often as you have need. Tear started rolling down her face. And we have to remember that this is kind of a deer in the headlights. You've never had this experience before, and now you're coming. You don't know what you're coming to, how you're going to be treated, and people need to know, one, that they're welcome, and one, that we're happy that they've come.
You have to be treated as a neighbor.
As a neighbor, absolutely. And that's, and I tell people all the time, especially with financial assistance, how is it that we're able to help your neighbors care about you? And the funding that we receive is all from your neighbors. We're not getting government funding. I can remember this one person, she and her partner, we were helping them out with a large bill. And I said to her, do you know how it is, where our money comes from? And she looked at me and she said, the government? And I said, no. And then she said, the state? And I said, no. And then I said, your neighbors. And her eyes went big. And I said, it's absolutely, the funds that we are giving out to help people in need all come from your neighbors.
And with the government cutbacks, this implies that your neighbors have to be even more generous in their giving to charities like the Tioga County Rural Ministry or the Broome County Council of Churches or the other helping organizations. I think sometimes as these government cutbacks take place, folks assume that churches will just step forward and cover it. But our numbers of faithful givers and churches are dropping too.
And they're faced with these added expenses themselves.
Sure, yes, every one of us.
So it's everybody's talking about utility bills, and whether rich or poor or whomever, everyone is faced with that. So they see the increase. They see the increase with food costs. What you used to get pre-COVID, for sure. Those prices just keep escalating. The gas prices that we're paying for gas are high, and they've gone down a little bit, but just a little bit. And that doesn't really make the difference.
There are some other programs too that we should at least touch on. Nutrition education is another service that's offered by the Tioga County Rural Ministry.
Yes, and it's I love that. I love that we've been able to, and with our new facility, we were able to have two different classes. So we had one from the Food Bank of the Southern Tier and another one from Cooperative Extension. And with that second class, we work with Racker and asked Racker, would any of the people with disabilities enjoy coming to a class? So we had a class with 5 wheelchairs and 12 disabled people coming. It's the only place that they had where they had access, wheelchair access. So they were all so excited, and unfortunately, we are losing that because of the cutbacks. And we have just found out that we are also going to be losing our other nutrition assistance program because of the cutbacks. I mean, that really impacts people because we get products in our food. We just got rutabaga from the food bank yesterday. We got radishes, we got green peppers, and tomatoes. And what do you do with rutabaga? So that's where the nutrition class would be wonderful, and we could get recipes.
Yeah.
And the food bank will send us recipes with products that they have. But it's really helpful if you have a teacher who can teach you how to use these things.
You bet.
And how to stretch your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those are big losses for us.
Yeah. The Tioga County Rural Ministry has a website, and all your programs are listed there. There are ways to give, but there are also ways that it shows what you're doing with the financial support that you get from the neighborhoods in the county. So to remember, this is very easy because it's just the initials for Tioga County Rural Ministry. Am I right? So it's www.tcrm.org.
And we recommend too that people stay current with our Facebook page, because sometimes people have extra things in their home that they're willing to give away for free. And it might be a new bed, it might be a mattress, it might be a television, it might be a refrigerator, all kinds of things that are in really good condition. When we put things on Facebook and our followers see that, they get grabbed right up.
Right.
The other thing is that we have programs that are available for people. Like we just had our August free food giveaway, where we purchase food from our farmers. We could not get the products any fresher than what we got. You know, fresh corn from Stoughton's, fresh green beans from Mandeville Farms in Spencer, honey, maple syrup from Area Farm. Beautiful, beautiful products, and anyone was welcome to come.
Yeah.
You had to sign up for it, and then we had a waiting list as well. But we had our first time at our new building. We had it outside with tents, and it was just wonderful. So we put all that out in our local newspapers, but we also put it out on Facebook.
Right.
So
it's easy to find the Tioga County Rural Ministry by entering that in your little search bar on Facebook.
They can have
there.
access to that. The other thing that we did and are still doing this summer is building ramps, which of course Broome County Council of Churches does that.
Yeah.
And our workers just finished last week a ramp that was a really long ramp that we thought was going to cost $1,200, and
I have to cut you off there because we're almost out of time.
Finished.
Our guest today has been Sister Mary O'Brien, who's the Executive Director of Tioga County Rural Ministry. And once again, if you go to www.tcrm.org, you can see all the programs offered there. I'm Jeff Kellam, thanking you for joining us for the Encounter program produced in cooperation with the Broome County Council of Churches, with thanks to WBNG-TV and the Town Square media stations for carrying the program. Hope in the coming week you'll be gentle with people and with yourself.